Hello friends, welcome back. In this session, we'll go ahead with the next set of 5 questions and it's going to be very important and interesting as well. What is ensemble learning? That's the first question. Simple. Whenever you have a task to be reached, whenever you have a problem to be solved, you could pick up one algorithm and solve it. But here in this approach, what we suggest is you need to use multiple learning algorithms to get better performance. Instead of using one algorithm, you can use multiple learning algorithms to get the better of results possible. Now it is called divide and conquer approach, and that's what all is about ensemble learning. You can see the picture in front of you where we have got multiple classifiers available and the average, and then finally the final prediction comes out. So instead of you staying with one algorithm, you are going to use the combo of multiple algorithms, and that would obviously give you better results. Now, what is the next question? What are all the types of ensemble learning techniques that you are aware of? There are multiple types available, but the most important and the most discussed about topics are bagging and boosting. We are going to see this shortly as well. Define bagging. Very simple. I'll make it very simple. See the picture in the right hand side. I've got three classifiers and all these three are independent of each other. That's the first thing that we need to understand. The entire trees or models are independent of each other. I do not have any dependency within the models. I do not have any dependency within the components that we have in the entire models. There is no concept that is involved which encourages learning from each other. Model 1 will not be influenced by model 2. Each individual model or a tree will be fed with the sample features, and the particular operation will happen there, and it will not have impact on the next tree. It will not have the impact on the next model. Whatever results this model gives stay there. It is not going to be impacted by the previous one. It is not going to impact the next one. So please understand here, it is a very simple approach where they are independent of each other, and the most important point is there is no concept of learning from each other that happens in bagging. This approach reduces variance, and random forest and extra tree algorithms are the simplest of examples that you can easily cite when it comes to bagging. Now let's go to the next one. What is boosting? This is slightly different from that. You can see the picture again. Classifier 1 is there and the results are influencing classifier 2, the second one, and it's sequential. In the previous one it was parallel. I am running multiple things but they are not connected to each other in this. But here you can see that I am running things but 1 is influencing 2, 2 is influencing 3, and so on it keeps going. So it is an alternative technique where it is really iterative and it is going to be sequential, and this will adjust the weight based on the observations. We have got some result, the results might not be good, so I need to give feedback. I'll correct it in the next time. So if an observation was classified wrongly, it will increase the weight or modify the weight, and based on that the boosting will happen. So what happens here? We actually get the dependency generated between one to another. Individual trees are not independent of each other, they are connected. Each of the trees will learn from the mistakes of the previous tree and will try to minimize those kind of errors here, and that's the approach. Gradient boosting, ADA boost, XT boost are the simple examples that we can have here, and this will definitely help in reducing the bias and variance. So what is the previous approach profit? It helps us in reducing the variance, but here you go with a reduced bias and variance altogether in one shot. Now the next question, do we have to really change an algorithm? When and how? Yeah, I have designed a model, I have designed or developed an algorithm. Do we have to change it? Yes. The first point that you need to understand it and understand is a model is not definitely an unevolvable in nature. It has to evolve. So most of the models, if you see they are evolving, they will change. That's the first point that we can answer this way. And the second one, the data input patterns could change. So to handle that, obviously, this model should evolve and change. When there is a lack of accuracy or performance, you will change the model. And these are all the cases where you can say that my model could change. That's all. We are done with 5 questions for the day. We will go with more questions in the next session, and I hope this series is interesting and meaningful. If you have any questions, suggestions, please go ahead and type into the comment sections. I'll be happy to take it up. If you like the channel and the content, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.